Hey, good morning, YouTube, and thank you for stopping by. I wanted to today, I just made my video about denture adhesives, and I did mention that I had planned on making a video on what basically you'll be eating for almost the first uh, couple weeks post extraction. And this is something you can prepare for ahead of time. I wouldn't suggest going too overboard with yeah, purchasing product or soups, basically, because mainly what you're going to eat. My dentist said for the first at least 30 to 60 days, I'm going to be on soft foods. Oh, I'm sorry, liquid foods. Okay, and what I found really the best thing when I first started out, I the first night post extraction, within the first 24 hours, I basically was able to kind of get down some applesauce, a little cup of applesauce, and that's pretty much the only thing I ate within the first 24 hours. And that was because my stomach, I started getting a little bit hungry, my stomach was hurting, I just needed something. And that was about 3 o'clock in the morning when I actually ate that applesauce. So it did settle my stomach. I was able to get some pain pills down in me, and that was really the only thing I could eat. And it was difficult because my gums were swollen. I couldn't really open my mouth, and it was difficult. Really, keep this in mind when post extractions, your gums are going to be so swollen and so sore. Even with the pain pills, I had difficulty even drinking water in order to get some Tylenol, the pain pill itself, in me. I had to literally drink like this over the sink. That's why I'm kind of doing this in the kitchen. I'm going to show you just basically some basic products that I lived on for the first week. Um, so, because you'll have water running down your, most of the water is going to come out of your gums, your mouth, because you're not used to drinking yet. And kind of one suggestion that I found that worked for me was to kind of push your bottom plate in with your gum, kind of like that, and you're gonna just kind of pour the juice, water, whatever you're drinking, behind your bottom denture into your mouth. Close your mouth, and then try and move with your tongue the pill, pain pill, Tylenol, Motrin, whatever you're taking for pain management. Try and move that with your tongue to the back of your throat and swallow. That was the easiest way that I found to do it. Um, Nobody talks about what they did um, post extraction. So this is the kind of the gap that I want to fill for a lot of people that are looking at, hey, I have to get dentures, I have to get extractions done for my health, for other reasons. Primarily, I did it for my health because I'm a diabetic. I've been a diabetic for uh, close to 30 years now, I would imagine. Um, because I had pre-diabetes that I didn't manage, and it's been close to probably 30 years that I've been a diabetic. And knock on wood, thank God I haven't had any major health problems as of yet uh, from my diabetes. Uh, I have a whole slew of autoimmune diseases that come probably with the territory, but that's probably another video in itself, so I won't bore you with that subject. The main thing I wanted to cover today is, okay, so post extraction, within the first 24 hours, I can only eat apple sauce. That was difficult to do. I had a little plastic spoon, and it really, really hurt to eat with this little plastic spoon, trying to open my mouth enough to stick it in and get that applesauce in my mouth to where I could swallow. And it hurt. I'm not going to lie to you. It hurt just to swallow applesauce. That was within the first 24 hours. Once I started taking Motrin, 2 Motrin and 2 Tylenol, I had to take them about every 4 hours to manage the amount of pain that I had. So you're going to be on some type of pain medication unless you have a medical condition where you can't take any pain medication. You're going to have some type of pain management. I'm sorry about my messy counter behind me, or my trash can that you probably see in the video. But you're going to have some type of pain management. I don't know how you could go through this process without taking anything. I was in so much pain. I was popping pills every 4 hours to manage my pain. And how I did was, I talked about this a little bit, but I'd like to recover it for somebody who maybe is watching this video, who's looking at, hey, I'm coming up to my extractions. I want to start preparing, right, for my extraction day, and I want to know what I can eat, right? Because nobody talks about it. They say, oh, just a liquid diet. Okay, what is a liquid diet? That's what I want to cover in this video. So, of course, with that comes pain management. Let's just be real. You know, there's no way around it. You know, so what I was doing is I took the pain pills that I was given by my dentist, and realistically, they just put me to sleep. They managed my pain very well, but I was knocked out. You know, and maybe that's something you want, but I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to rest comfortably without literally being knocked out. You know, where I couldn't wake up or respond to something. You know, if my wife had a question, something happened with my son, I need to address that issue or help my wife. I didn't want to be so drugged up that I couldn't do anything. And that's how I felt with the pain pill that they gave me. Plus, the pain pill in reality didn't last more than, I think I was supposed to take them every 6 hours. They lasted just as long as the Motrin and Tylenol combination, right? So I took a couple of those pills, felt really too drugged up, didn't like the feeling. I'm not a person who, I think I have a low pain threshold, but I'm not one that likes to take a ton of medication, because I already take a lot of medication for my diabetes, okay? At least I feel I do. Remember, my sister was sick and had diabetes, and she had 300 different prescriptions at her house. I don't know why, you know, but anyway, she was on a ton of medication. I'm probably over exaggerating. You know, it's probably empty bottles she had at her house. I didn't go through them, but anyway, she ended up passing away, I think, from liver failure because of all the medication that she was taking. She was bipolar and was taking medication for that, and in addition to taking medication for her diabetes. So I'm very anti-medication, you could say. I don't like taking a lot of medication for myself for that reason. I have already a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease that I'm dealing with, and that's from the diabetes as well. Yeah, so, you know, I don't like putting a lot of stress on my liver, right? So you may be in the same boat, you may say the same thing, you may disagree with me, and that's fine. You know, this is simply just my opinion. But now that I've talked for 9 minutes about a little bit of background about myself, put it that way, what I ate, like I said, applesauce for the first 24 hours. You might do the first 24 or 30, up to, 48 hours, with applesauce or yogurt. Yogurt is good. A little Greek yogurt or regular yogurt. Those were fantastic because they were cold. So they soothe my gums, okay? Another good thing might be freezer pops, is what I call them, and they're just like icy pops um, that you can buy at the store. And here luckily I had some on hand because my son, he loves those. So I would try and without without my teeth, because it's impossible to those are not very large, but when you have dentures in, you can't fit those in your mouth. You can't open your mouth wide enough to suck on those, right? Because they're going to kill your bone and your gum. You're gonna be in way more pain than it's gonna be worth. Okay, take your dentures out and suck on one of those ice pops, is what I'll call them. You can buy them anywhere. You know, those were awesome to bring down the swelling. Um, Gave me some not nutrients, but gave me some sugar in my system, so I felt better. Like, you know, rather than, because I couldn't really consume a full meal at this point, 2-3 days in, you know, post extraction. So I think it was the second day. Let me see. The second day, I started eating actually Campbell's tomato soup. All right, and the warmth of that really helped my gums. Um, I could just rinse my mouth with water. I did my salt water rinses afterwards. So basically, what I would have is my little Campbell soup. I'd heat it up on the stove, add a, you know, it's concentrate, so you want to add a can, you know, equal amount of water from the can to the soup. Dilute it down enough. You'll notice post extraction, which is really interesting, is I used to have problems tasting things before my extractions. Post extraction, like, everything became sweeter. I could taste the salt in things, and not that it's bad, but your taste buds somehow, with the rotten teeth taken out of your mouth, somehow enhances your taste. I don't know, maybe it's, you know, they say blind people have enhanced hearing. Maybe that's the case when you get your teeth pulled out. Full extractions, you get a sensory improvement on your taste. I haven't researched this, so I don't know if there's anything to that. But that was my experience. And I enjoyed actually having this little tomato soup. The first, I think it was the second day, when I was able to kind of just sip a soup. You know, not out of a cup. It was with a spoon, right? I'm sipping the soup, feel like getting some nutrients in me, but I wanted a little bit. You know, our body needs protein. You know, so I felt like, well, what's the primary protein source that we all think of? Meat. Okay, and I went over to Walmart, and you might go to a different store, and I found, cream of chicken. Cream of chicken, Campbell's cream of chicken. I hope you can see that. And I ate this, I think, the second or third day or fourth day, one of those days, and it's pretty good. Honestly, it's better than I thought it would taste. It tastes better than it sounds, put it that way, because when I bought it, I was kind of like, oh, cream of chicken. Oh, that, I don't know if that's going to fit, if I'm going to enjoy this. You know, so I bought a can. I ended up buying more cans because I actually liked it, believe it or not. And then I had this in my cupboard. I have not tried this yet. It's cream of shrimp. And for some reason this sounded so good, but I haven't eaten it. I have a single can of it. I bought that pre-extraction, and I haven't tried it yet, to be honest with you. If you want to give it a try, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. It's just great. Is it horrible? At least I'll know what to expect. Now, um, I would say probably, I want to say roughly about a week after. So this is now at least 4 to 5 days post extraction. I started eating refried beans. Refried beans with some rice. I think I was 4 days out. And they were so easy to swallow. No tortilla though. I ate just the beans. A few days later, I started introducing rice so I could get some carbohydrates in my diet, some additional carbohydrates in my diet. Now, everybody talks about mashed potatoes. I went out and bought this big old box of mashed potatoes because online and even other YouTubers are talking about, well, you can eat mashed potatoes because they're great. No, they're not. I'm sorry. I bought this box of mashed potatoes, and I probably have 3/4 of the box left. I've tried putting chili in it. I tried it with the tomato soup, and I've tried eating it by itself, and I don't know what it is about uh, dehydrated potatoes. I just don't like the taste of them. I've tried them a bunch of different ways, and it, they really honestly don't taste like anything to me. I like the fresh potato. Um, I've taken a fresh potato and microwaved it, put a little chili on it. This was about a week ago. I made a chili baked potato with some sour cream, cheese, all that, and I ripped up the skin, cut up the skin, basically cut it all up so it's smaller pieces. So basically, I can gum it and swallow it. And so that worked really, really well. But that was honestly at least, I want to say, 2 weeks post extraction. Now, what I found over the last few weeks of eating a soft diet, believe it or not, just oatmeal. Oatmeal, and you'll say HEB. I'm not sponsored by HEB. But HEB is the largest grocery store where we live, so that's we do a lot of shopping there. So I'm not promoting HEB. If you live near HEB and you like them, awesome. I really enjoy that store. And I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not getting anything for promoting them. So anyway, oatmeal is very high in protein and fiber. And you're going to find post extraction, I think Bill, your favorite denture wearer, he talks a little about this in his older videos, where post extraction you will not have a bowel movement. It took me 4 days, and I'll be honest with you. In that 4 days, I had gas, bloating, upset stomach. Anytime, even if I ate a little bit of tomato soup, my stomach would get upset, and I would maybe be able to eat a half a cup of tomato soup, and my stomach would just be hurting so much I couldn't eat anymore. So I'd have to set it aside, let it cool off, wait an hour or two till my stomach settled down, and then go back and try and eat a little bit more soup. Same process, wait an hour or two, until I could finish the soup. Most of the time, the second time out, I was able to finish the soup because it was cold at that point. And so, expect to have stomach upset post extraction. What I did is I wish I would have did it the day, my extraction day. And I wish I would have actually took a stool softener and it's a mild, it almost acts like a laxative, if I can say that word. Um, it's not as fast. It takes anywhere from 12 to 24 hours to work. It took me about, I want to say about 18 hours after I took 2 stool softeners to have my first bowel movement post extraction. And I know it would have taken me longer for that process had I not used that stool softener. I think there's only one YouTuber that talks about stool softeners, and it's a great product to have. So pre-extraction, I would go buy a little cheap Equate bottle or no-name brand um, stool softener. The day of your extractions, well, I would say 24 hours after your extractions, after you've seen the dentist, um, take one, take one or two. I think I took one. I don't remember now. I think I took one. And I think you can take one, up to one or two of the brand that I bought, which was the Equate stool softener. And I took one, and it worked about 18 hours later. But this was already, I was having stomach upset my second day. By the third day, I just couldn't take it anymore. And the stomach upset after eating even a banana would upset my stomach so much. It really was uncomfortable. So I finally took a stool softener. 18 hours later, I had relief. And I'm glad, I wish I would have taken it at least 24 hours after post extraction. I think it would have helped me be a little bit more comfortable within those first 3 days. So that's just something to keep in mind. Um, Post extractions if you decide to go through this process. So this video is getting a little bit long, so I'm just going to kind of jump up. I think I'm almost done. And I started eating macaroni and cheese. These are great because the noodles are small enough that you can just swallow them. I make chili with these. I think within my first week I made chili mac. You can buy hot dogs, but if you do go hot dogs, you need to cut them up into really small pieces. Boil them in the water with the noodles, throw the cheese in there, and you can have like a cheese dog, mac. I haven't done that yet. I tried that once. I tried eating a hot dog itself, a whole hot dog. I couldn't bite through it. It was a horrible experience. I haven't actually, I just ended up spitting out the hot dog. And I haven't tried it yet. But my idea is if I would have bought hot dogs, a pack of hot dogs, I could cut them up into small, really small pieces, go and throw them in with the noodles, mix up this, and then, because you're going to have cravings, weird cravings, post extraction. I think it's because your body wants certain vitamins or certain things that it needs. I'm basically on a fat-free diet now, to be honest with you, because I was eating the mashed potatoes initially. These were very hard to swallow with my dentures in. I found it so much easier just to eat without my dentures, to be honest with you. And that's why after like the third or fourth day, I just said, okay, I need my gum. I need to let my gums heal. I don't feel like the dentures are being productive in my case. And I just said, okay, I'm going to go without them because then I can eat and do what I need to do comfortably. And now that I'm healed and my dentures have been adjusted, I go in for a soft reline in a couple days, and I'm just now starting to try and teach myself to eat with them. And I ate some potato chips the other day, Pringles, which went amazingly well with this, with the adhesive. And I recommend the adhesive. But wait till you get your go ahead from your dentist, because I have divots in my gums and I didn't want all that adhesive in there and trying to clean it out and maybe prolong the healing of my gums. And the other thing, what I ate, have been eating, and I stopped about a week ago, was just fruit smoothies. I go buy a bag of frozen mango, pineapple. Oh, that's one thing. You don't want to eat anything too acidic within the first, I would say, 2 weeks of your. I think I was about a week and a half before I started drinking orange juice, and and that was just primarily because I was having low blood sugar incidents at night, and I needed to have something in the house that I could just drink real quick at 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm kind of out of it, right? Um, but what I do is go just buy a bag of frozen fruit. I don't have any in the house, otherwise I would show it. Like with, I think it's mango, banana. They have a bunch of different smoothie. They're really not that expensive. You throw that into a blender. I went and bought a $17, 16, yeah, $17 blender at Walmart, which works awesome. I didn't buy the smoothie one. I bought the standard old blender, and it works perfect. Throw my frozen vegetables in there, grab a banana, throw that in there, cut up an apple, throw that in there, plum, peach, pear, whatever fruit you like, grapes work really well. Um, Now you could either add water or milk, or I do oat milk because I, just wanted something more. I thought maybe something plant based, since I was on a low fat diet, so I wanted to buy oat milk. But I mean, you can buy whatever type of milk that you like, and you can put that in there. And what will happen is the frozen vegetables mix up and it freezes everything. Makes a really nice cold smoothie, which is great on your gums while they're healing. Okay, and I love doing that. Actually, I enjoyed that so much. Just making different smoothies, playing around with it. I bought a bag of spinach. Um, Spinach. I bought some spring mix. Throw some of that in there. I did. I did a vegetable one time. I don't remember exactly. I'm having a hard time remembering what I used. I threw carrots in there. It makes it a little chunky, but the good thing is you're getting a lot of fiber in your smoothie. So even though you're consuming a liquid diet, you're getting that fiber element that you need in order to keep your system regular. And that's what really helped me. Apples work very well in a smoothie. You just cut up an apple, throw it in there, it'll blend it down. Adds a lot of sweetness to the smoothie. I loved it. I can't tell you. I would go the smoothie route the first week, post extractions. Unless you absolutely hate smoothies, then you're going to be stuck with mashed potatoes and soups. So or mac and cheese. And you can buy the macaroni and you can make your own sauce. I have one with spaghetti sauce and just the macaroni itself that I've eaten. And you can boil up the macaroni, add it to one of these soups, and they're really easy to swallow. Wonderful, and it gets you away from that idea of just being on a liquid diet, and it gives you something a little bit more heartier. That way, you're not constantly getting hungry, and they're easy to swallow. Why they say, oh, you just have to have a liquid diet, doesn't make any sense to me at all. I had to play around with my diet to see what, eating just soups wasn't cutting it. I took hamburger and mix it with some macaroni and cheese. I made cheeseburger mac. You can take a soup, like chunky soup, Campbell's chunky soup, whatever soup that you like. Open the can, put it in your blender, puree it. You like, you can take frozen vegetables or fresh vegetables, cook them, put them in the blender, puree them. And you can make it like your own baby food. Use a little bit of the water from the vegetable that you cooked or boiled. Put a little bit of the water in there, puree them, and you can eat that. That's considered a liquid diet. But it's something that you've made at home. You know what went into it. There's not a lot of salt if you have, especially if you have dietary restrictions. Now I'll be honest with you, my blood pressure was through the roof. Eating this stuff for the first week, and till I found out alternatives. Hey man, I'm gonna have a stroke here if I don't do something. And I found my alternatives to a liquid diet. Or eating soft food, introducing soft foods into my diet that worked very well for me. So, drop me a comment, drop me some ideas if you have any ideas of what you did post-extraction that can help others who are beginning their journey. Don't keep this information compacted and keep it to yourself, because the reason why I'm making these videos is for the people that are just beginning this process. And there's not a lot of information out there. I went through every YouTube video there is online before my extractions. And honestly, I felt a little bit misled, because you're looking at, I didn't realize, hey, these people are 6 years into having dentures, 10 years, they got implants, kind of sell you on this pie in the sky idea that, oh, dentures are great. They're frustrating, they're painful, and they're a process. That's what everybody says. It's a process. Like, that explains everything. But the amount of pain that you're going to go through, the ulcers, the pinching, the having to wear the dentures, getting used to this big hunk of plastic in your mouth, nobody talks about that stuff. I want to fill that gap. I want to give you the reality of dentures. And a lot of people might not like my channel. And those of you who are viewing it and who have subscribed, thank you. I really appreciate it. Because, this is it's not a game. I can't go back and tell the dentist, hey, put my real teeth back in. That ain't going to happen. I've made my decision, and I have to live with it. And I have to learn how to adjust to the dentures. Just like if you lost a leg or lost an arm, you have to learn how to adjust to that prosthesis that you now have on your body. Same thing with their dentures. They're not natural teeth. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care how many videos you watch. You think that the having dentures are just like your natural teeth. There was one guy who said he wears his dentures 24/7 because he wants them to be like his natural teeth. I saw that video and I was like, oh my God, it gives people the wrong idea of dentures. Yes, it's a good alternative if you have bad teeth, you have health issues that need to be addressed, you don't have the money for implants, and you can afford dentures. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying if you have other options, examine those, talk to your dentist, do them. If they're cheaper than doing dentures, then go that route. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to listen to me. You can go full dentures and then document your YouTube video or your YouTube journey, and you can tell everybody how wonderful your dentures are or how painful they are or what your journey is. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And I just want to fill that gap for people who, hey, I want to see somebody who just got their teeth done like me, who are in the 50s and, hey, what's the reality of dentures? That's what I'm trying to put out there, the reality of dentures. And, I don't know if YouTube supports me or not. They have all these community guidelines, and they haven't pulled my channel yet, so I'm assuming I haven't violated anything yet, so, or upset anybody that they reported me. So, anyway, I'm going to sign off as I always do. be healthy, be happy. I hope you are enjoying your denture adventure. If you are post extractions, I hope some of these videos help people. And like I like to say, don't run out and buy a bunch of products, denture adhesives, stuff like that, because a lot of those you're going to get from your dentist after you've had your extraction. So they'll give you the denture adhesive to try out. They'll give you a denture brush. Now they won't give you denture cleaning paste. They'll tell you to use Dawn or something to clean your dentures. You can buy the tabs, and you can buy the Bright and Clean denture paste for relatively cheap. You know, almost everywhere you can buy that. And it does come with the denture brush, so save yourself the cost of getting an additional denture brush. And you'll probably get one from your dentist free, or ask them for one. Okay? So I hope everybody's healthy and happy. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And like I always say, if you have them, please just take the time and floss them. You'll be so much happier later down the line. It's not a quick fix, like I always say, but it'll help you save your teeth. And like I said in my last video, God, I wish I would have listened to my own advice. So take care, YouTube. Thank you for stopping by. I hope this was a little bit informative and helped you. I'm sorry it was so long, but take care.